freestyle continues to explode, the riders get sick and tired of all the small, monotonous little events with their tiny little kickers. The boys got together with Blue Torch, and born was the Right Guard Extreme Sport Ride Side. The best in the business came together and helped us make the biggest courses, the best jumps, and the best events with the biggest prize money for the year 2000. Riders like Twitch, Vines, Morrison, Link, Deegan, Adaptante, Jones, Harris, all the boys. The first stop, Lake Elsinore, California, the home for guys like Brian Deegan and Ronnie Feist. The first spot of freestyle motocross, the Inland Empire. Ronnie Feist came out, put it down, threw down huge moves even though the wind was blowing up to 20 miles an hour. They had a great time, huge extension there. Clifford Adaptante, he wanted to start the tour off right. 4 events, you need to get your groove on early to be a factor in the championship charge. Trevor Vines coming out with the McMatch, the no-handed ladder over the big gap, and then on the dirt kicker, the seat grab Indian Air. Mike Seekbar's always in the house and always with the whip. Monster turndowns mixed up with good tricks like the pendulum put him close to the top. But it was Tommy Clowers hanging out the Supermans. He ended up battling it out with the local boy, Brian Deegan, who was on his game and came out of the first stop, Lake Elsinore, with the big win, giant double militia grabs. Just like that, everybody in the house was pumped. The fans were stoked, and we moved on to stop number 2, Virginia Beach, Virginia. Once we landed on the East Coast, we realized the area was a little smaller to work with than we wanted to, but what we did, we put a bunch of big ramp jumps all together, a couple 80-footers, and we still had the 90-footer guys like Feist and Trevor Vines here busting a huge Superman. They were on top of it. They wanted to move up in the championship points race, but Chris Rourke, injured at the first event, comes back, huge runs, and he's going to place in the top 4. Mad Mike Jones, always a crowd favorite, big Superman's heel clicker to no-handed ladder, but he threw it out. The whip, he couldn't get it back, and boom! Jonesy takes a dirt sample, unbelievable. You never see the guy on the ground, and it does hurt. Mike Jones laying in the fetal position, but he gets up, and the crowd is pumped. Brian Deegan, the master from the Metal Militia, all that is dark and evil. He starts it out with a battle with Tommy Clowers. He won stop 1, but stop 2 would be a flip-flop. Tommy the Tomcat Clowers, he'd set on top, clawing his way past the bad boy of the Militia. On to Orlando, Florida, the project. It's a little trashy area around the lake, but you know what? The crowd was amped up and the course was sick. 110-foot water jump. That's right, the water hazard. Guys like Carter came down to play. Chris Rourke in the house once again, and all the boys had to step it over the giant water gap. They weren't scared, were they? Of course not. Ronnie Feist, giant bar hop, huge whip. He would place in the top 5. Trevor Vines looking for his first big win. He would have to settle for 3rd place. A monster sterilizer ended in a crash for him. He couldn't make it to the top. Brian Deegan led the first round, but continuing his battle with Tommy Clowers, Deegan would come out, monster heart attack, and a fall would put him in 2nd place. Once again, on the top, the Tomcat. He ain't no pussycat. Huge moves like this heart attack over the 100-foot water gap. Sickness. Final stop 4, Irvine Lake, California.
This is how courses should be. This is like the original OG jump show shit.
Deegan having a great time with the 120-foot step down in the Militia March. The track was more like a BMX course on steroids instead of a freestyle motocross track. The guys would have a great time putting on a show over the 18 different jumps.
Fuck the judges. It's all about hitting the big gap and eating shit hard.
Link wasn't alone on the dirt this weekend, but Mad Mike busted the huge step down, did the only no-handed lander. Oh, it was so insane, throwing it up, and then he was the first guy, 125 feet, 40 feet up, the giant step up, no one else wanted it. Jonesy tackled it and tackles the earth in the process. Drake McElroy barely getting on the no-footed knack, pulls it together, wipes it in the corner.
Threw out a trick that was just a little bit too big to bring back, and it ran me into the ground.
The boys love the event start to finish.
Blue Torch and Right Guard, they put on a great tour, you know. We had a lot of fun at these 4 stops, and I think next year it's going to be bigger and better.
Brian Deegan knew he had to beat Tommy Clowers coming into the last event. You know what? He just decided to win the event, take it over, nighty-night. The glory was Deegan's. He started at round 1 with the first big win, 2nd at the 2 stops following, and then right here in Irvine Lake, California, the double grab, Indian Air, the giant downhill kicker, everything. The big step up didn't scare Brian Deegan. He hit it position, he took the win for the event and the overall championship in the Right Guard Extreme Sport Ride and Slide.